What's going on, everybody, and welcome back into Mario Studios. So this is something a little bit different here on my YouTube channel. So there's been a lot of discussion now in the present and in the past that TikTok may get banned in the United States. Now, I have been a big user of TikTok. I've really started posting my artwork on social media through TikTok. I just don't feel like Instagram has the same sway and the same speed as far as growth that TikTok had. And I just feel like Facebook is just so outdated and clunky, and it's just messy, and it's hard to use it. The pages that you can create, the groups, everything is just so clunky and just old, outdated. I just really never really got into it. Now I do have a page on Facebook for Byerly Studios, and it's linked to my main account, but I've just really never big into it. I've been leaning more so into YouTube here recently. Now, don't get me wrong, I love TikTok and all, but if it went away tomorrow, I wouldn't be upset about it because I am putting more long form content from my art into YouTube. But I don't necessarily want to lose all that data. I've put a lot of content onto TikTok, about 3 years worth. So what I want to do is I want to start to archive some of that data. Now, I don't want those videos just sitting around on my phones all the time where I could be recording new content in 4K or 3K and have that data available on my storage device. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to archive them down. So I'm going to do 2022, 2023, and then I'll do 2024 up till when maybe TikTok gets banned, if it does, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to archive them down, and then what I'll do is I will consolidate them down into videos to post to YouTube. Now, there's some stipulations with this. I would like to call this coffee time. Coffee time. So I may have different coffee mugs, and we'll just be doing a relaxed commentary over that. So it'll allow me to kind of go back through my old short videos and review those TikTok videos and kind of explain the art that came through the channel at the time, and where I've came along since then and so forth like that. Now, I will not be including any kind of reposts in that, so only original posts. And I also did Sunday shoutouts for a while for other artists throughout TikTok world. I probably maybe about 15 to 25 of those, and then I kind of slowed down because it wasn't getting really the traction that I was looking for through the TikTok community. Don't get me wrong, I grew on TikTok, but it just wasn't the thing that I really wanted to be known for. It's just that guy who gave shout outs, right? It was fun for a while. It got to meet a few really cool artists as well as interview them through like a kind of like a text chat format, not live interviewing. But it was really fun, and I'm not going to include those in here because I don't want to continuously have to go back and tag people. Now, as I run through artwork that people have purchased from me that I really do follow a lot on YouTube and TikTok, I will mention their tags. And in those videos, I will do my best to tag them below so you can jump over to their YouTube channels. There's a few of them, but there's only one that really stands out, and he'll come along here in a little while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include this in every intro to all of these videos. These videos are going to range from 20 to 30 minutes depending on the amount of content that I have, and they will be categorized under a new playlist, which will be kind of called Coffee Time. And if I want to include any kind of other commentary type art review videos into my channel, they will be included in this playlist called Coffee Time. But we're going to start off by just kind of archiving all those old videos. All right, so I'm going to include this at the beginning of every one of these videos, and then we're just going to jump into it. So my coffee cup, my shirt may change. Now, here's the disclaimer. I will do a little bit of the music in the TikTok videos that I have. However, just be aware that I'm not going to include very much of it. We're going to include more of a voice and music overlay so that way I don't get a copyright strike on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is where I'm at, you guys, and I want people to follow me from TikTok over to YouTube. Sometimes it's hard to get people to go across platforms, but I hope you do enjoy the content. Now, if you want to see my full-length content like tutorials and project videos, and whether it's watercolors, acrylics, tumblers, miniatures, colored pencils, anything that you want to see that comes out of my art studio. I'm not just one type of artist. I don't have one niche, right? I'm all these things, including some digital art once in a while. You can follow me on TikTok as well as subscribe here on YouTube. Subscribe here on YouTube, guys. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see my newest videos. Sometimes it jumps around depending on what project I'm working on, but that just is the fun of art, right? Don't restrict yourself to one type of art. Really have fun with your journey. And this is my art journey here on my YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the content for the video that you clicked on here. And let's just go ahead and get into this voice action. All right, you guys, so let's just jump into this commentary here. So this is video number 4 or 5 in this series. As you can see, we have a ton of stuff going on in the studio, so let's go ahead and get to this little TikTok video review. So as you can see here, this is actually a Sunfire Flare or a Sunshine Flare cup. And when I was making this, it turned out absolutely like fiery orange, and it was so stunning. It didn't really like, I did like a SVG or a decal on it with the name and things like that, like monogramming it. But it was really cool in general just because it really went above my expectations. I would really like to make another one of these in the future for maybe work or something like that, and have like maybe like a sun constellation or something on it, or maybe like a solar type of cup to it. But it was really gorgeous and it turned out really nice. And I was almost sad to see this one go. And it was in the Alchemist collection. If you want one of those, just let me know. I can always recreate that. This one right here, very cool, is the unicorn cup that I made for my daughter. And now that SVG was custom made by one of my pretty much sister-in-laws. So very cool of her, and I haven't got permission to resell that decal. So it's very cool. It's My Little Pony cup. This right here is another TikTok of that Umbrella Corp cup. You can see the logo on the left-hand side there, as well as the T virus and the other viruses in the Resident Evil world coming up the sides of it, as well as that breakaway zombie coming through the metal there, and then the blood drip from the top. It was really cool. You can see it has a missing digit there. Very cool, and I did mail that to Aaron as well. Very, very cool tumbler, and I look forward to making another one of those in the future to kind of put up here on my trophy shelf. So if you want one of those, let me know, and I'll hook you up. This is me, the same project, actually epoxying it. So sometimes when I like post a lot of videos, it'll be like a cascading post effect where I create it and then I epoxy it, and I'm able to break some of that material into different videos, whether it's long form or short form, and it creates a lot more content for me to cover. It's really beneficial because it allows me to kind of stretch that content out, use it a lot more. You know, here on my YouTube channel, I do create both short form, medium form, and long form content. When I say long form, I mean like hour-long videos. I try not to go over an hour long because people just don't have the attention span for that. And eventually, I may come back down later on down the road and consolidate some of these project playlists down into individual videos. But I'd like for people to be able to search for particular portions of that video, and then they can see what they want to see. If they want to see just painting or just sculpting or just epoxy work, they can really nitpick over what they would like to watch in that overall project playlist. Here is showcasing the overall look now, and it's basically me just saying, hey, the Zombie Outbreak tumbler is available at my Etsy shop. I think I'll reactivate my Shopify here soon. I'm starting to kick up my art creation again here in the studio, so I think I will probably create and reactivate my domain name, johnbyerlyartstudio.com. I believe the domain name is johnbyerlystudios.com. But look how stunning this thing is. The epoxy really glistens off of it, and it really locks all that age and decay and rusted texture in, as well as makes that bloody like texture that we apply to the outside edges of the zombie face. It really locks it in and makes it rich in color. This right here is another TikTok. It may be in a repost. I do apologize if it's that, but it is the Alchemist collection. It was Ocean Spectrum. When I say spectrum, it's like the light cascading through the top layer of the ocean, and it gets darker towards the bottom there. So you see a lot of the yellow and the teals at the top, and then it gets darker towards more of a ultramarine or like a deep Windsor blue type of color towards the bottom of that tumbler. And this is one that I actually hand painted a reef on, so you'll see that in either this video or one of the next ones here coming up. It's a very, very cool project, and my wife uses it to this day. Now this one right here is a baddie, man. This is a bad cup right here, Bad Mama Gemma, and I still look forward to the days that I get to repost this to whether it's to YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok here. And I really like being able to repost this. It had a baddie sound to it too. It's Lady Demetrius, close enough, from the Resident Evil franchise. And that was one of the video games. She's this really cool, tall broad, and she's just super evil and like just really finesse, and she had like a lot of appeal to her. And this is kind of her tumbler from me. So it has a really deep, rich silver base, swirled tumbler, and then I hand molded all of these ornate pieces from Sculpey Original, baked them individually on a blank tumbler, hand detailed them in like a stainless steel type of casted look. And then we also did a lot of hand painting on this as well. So you'll probably see this here in a moment where I'm hand painting like a really ornate rose with the customer's name, Sarah, in like kind of in hand painted, engraved like look to it. So it's kind of like monogrammed with hand painted symbols. It's really cool. I don't know how this got in here. Don't judge me. This is actually from what's the dude's name? Brick something. Anyways, he's the fiance of one of my wife's cousins up in Canada. Really chill dude. He was making TikToks of still life videos of Legos, and I recommended one to him, and he made it, and I was like, dude, that's super awesome. This right here is pretty cool. This is a Raccoon City police badge, sculpted and hand painted by moi. And it actually has a water slide decal on the outside that I aged to perfection. It's super cool. You can find this as a paintable option in my Etsy shop, as well as an already finished and painted and epoxied version as well. So if you want one of those for your trophy shelf, or you'd like to paint your own, you can order that, and I'll send some of those SVG files with that, so you can kind of have fun creating your own badge and paint it and clear coat it. This right here is well, there's one right here, an oil barrel tumbler, but this was a black one. Originally, I usually make it out of the red, dark burgundy red, which is the stereotypical like oil barrel color. But there's also black oil barrels out there, and they requested this. It was a custom made one, and it said property of, I think it was wheel, property of wheel on the back of it. It was very cool, and I did a two-tone epoxy drip on that, so there's like a dark ivory black as well as a brown, because a lot of crude oil is brown in color. Here's the kind of finished showcase of this. I'm just explaining to my viewers here on TikTok the finished effect, what I went through to create this project, and it's absolutely perfect. So here we are looping back around to this right here. This is where I am hand painting the rose, as well as kind of like an upside down cross effect right there. And this is like a rose that was kind of pulled from the game in a lot of ways. It's kind of like her symbol in a way. And I kind of just repurposed it. I created like a clear SVG water slide, and then I hand detailed over the black lines in my own way. And then I built up metallic colors over that. So you see a lot of sterling here, a lot of pure silver from Winsor & Newton. You also see a lot of pure gold, bronzes, and I also come in with a titanium, not titanium white, a gunmetal gray, folk art gunmetal gray as well, just to darken some of the edges of those petals on the underside. And of course you can see all of the monogramming and the framing around the name at the top, Sarah, is hand painted, which is really cool. It takes a lot more time to create something like this. Obviously when you're mass producing something, you need to create it to where it's like easy to get done, but sometimes it's just really easy and fun to slow down and hand paint something this detailed for somebody. And even if it's something that they don't use very often and they keep as a trophy and just like a piece of art around their house, which I do see very often from people. A lot of people like to buy items like this, and they are really just trophies and fun pieces of art to have around the house. I often see these just sitting on shelves, literally with books and bookshelves and things like that. People's geek studios and things like that, just trophy pieces. And people who buy from me, they really do generally like to buy trophies. And depending on the project, I do create a lot of long-form content out of that. So I don't believe I created any long-form content for this. This was before I was really heavy into YouTube. But it was definitely a stepping stone towards something bigger. If I ever do this again, I will definitely make a long-form content video of the creation of this tumbler. But it was just really incredible. This has a really cool like gothic like background music on it here. I'm not going to use that for copyright reasons, obviously, here on YouTube. But it was just really cool. Now a lot of people don't know who that character is, so you have to just say gothic tumbler or like Victorian style tumbler. But it is definitely horror themed, and it's really cool. You can see the amount of work that I put into this. Even just the edges of the petals and the leaves, they have like embellishments of silver and stuff like that. And it was just a lot of work. And I also do a little bit of light work on the leaves themselves coming up from the stem, but not a whole lot, just a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit of detail there. as I kind of finish up the rows there. And it's not supposed to be like boom, there's a rose. It's more supposed to be like you come up to the tumbler and you're just like, wow, that's really ornate, very cool. And the red on the blood is really what's going to pull the eye when it's all said and done. And then you look at the name, you see this beautiful blended flower on the cup, and it looks like it's part of the cup, right? The silvers really do mesh with the silver background from the swirl effect, and it looked really cool. This was a very long TikTok video. As I stated before, I had unlocked early on 10-minute long videos, and I was really pushing those out there big time. I got a little bit of retention on those videos, but a lot of people do have short attention spans, let's be honest. That's also why I'm breaking these in like 25 to 30-minute sessions, making them easy to view, easy to release, and then that way people can watch what they want and come back to it. But people just don't have the attention span that they used to have, and unless they're really wanting to learn how to do something specifically or watch the full-on creation process of something, and they're wanting to get to do this on their own, then they're not looking for that long-form content where they're willing to sit for an hour or more. So a lot of my videos are broken up for that reason. Very cool. Look how stunning that is. Just the kind of like effect of that. Now, that is still sitting on my TikTok page at this time because TikTok has not been deleted from the system or America. Here's like a instant effect of that tumbler, stainless steel to oil barrel. Super cool. Property of William/Will, and I had marked that out in like a scraped silver motion, like somebody like carved that away with like a blade or something. This was a sports cup, very cool. Now look at the two-tone effect here. You go from orange to a little bit of a green where the orange and blue mix together, and then you have a beautiful blue in the middle. It's hard to achieve. It's hard to achieve at times without getting a total degradation of color. It was a really cool ombre effect. This is a Spider-Man breakaway tumbler. Now, I actually created a full-length content video of the sculpting and the hand painting of this project. Now, I did post longer form little videos of this to my TikTok, so you will see that up here there. I'm not gonna act like you don't have that in there. I don't have that in there. But it was very cool in total. It was a very meticulous process, and the customer that ordered that, I believe, gave it to her son. So it may be being used. It may be a trophy. I don't know. I've never really followed up with her, but I would love to make another one of those in the future, and maybe make a mold of it if I could. Maybe make a mold so I can reproduce it, just for family and friends and things like that. So now I'm using the little embossing tool, and I'm just kind of smoothing some of the outside edges of those webbings there. Trying to smooth some of those small segments out where I can't really get the big silicone tool into, and just creating a nice effect. I'm really trying not to blend out those net-like patterns that I had placed, because even when I do a wash later with some paints, those net patterns will be visible through the paints. It's very cool. So right now I'm beginning the process of starting to create the brick texture that's going to go across the face here. So this is the first time I've sculpted bricks, and it was very successful. I also used brick paints from Folk Art, and I also textured the mortar between the bricks as well. Now obviously those aren't real sized bricks, but it was pretty cool overall. Now the brick texture went across the entire outside jacket of the tumbler, so it was a lot of clay, a lot of hand sculpting, but it was pretty cool in general. Using a little bit of a bladed tool there and creating like a roll effect with it to kind of create a straight edge a little bit, but I'll also create little breaks in the brick so that it looks like he's breaking that brick as it gets pushed or pulled through the brick wall there. You can kind of see how detail oriented this project is here. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward you guys through this action. All right, so this is me hand painting the reef across the bottom of my wife's Ocean Spectrum tumbler. Now this is a time lapse, and I did create a full long form video of this for my YouTube channel. It's very laid back and very fun, but it is time lapse, and I really just enjoyed the process of just having fun and painting different forms of reef. It's not super realistic or anything like that. It's just very free form type of art, and really just have fun painting in different reef formations. Here I'm using that titanium white to build up that base before I start to apply any of those vibrant colors to it. That way those vibrant colors really do pop when I apply those. And you can see I really did go around some of the blue base, and I created gaps in the rock formations so that I could really create a lot of different voids and realism when I'm looking at it, and you really do see like through it into the water, as it were. So it's just really cool. I did this over probably about a week or so. And of course, I didn't have this tumbler done before Christmas for my wife. I believe it was Christmas she wanted it, or maybe she wanted it by the summer and I didn't finish it till Christmas or something like that. I can't remember. Hand painting some little fishies there. I think those turned out to be like little yellow angelfish or something, and I created some larger ones and different sizes. And this is also an opportunity for me to paint a little dory as well. So later on in the process, you'll see me paint dory, and then I use the audio sound. Hi, I'm Dory. Dun, dun. I don't know the tune, but if you follow TikTok and trends, you probably know it already. That's some good coffee. Speaking of which, I'm wearing my Dunder Mifflin shirt, and I was gonna use my Dunder Mifflin cup, and I dropped it and broke it. It's cracked down the side now, so I'm gonna have to finally finish my Dunder Mifflin tumbler up here that I've been putting off to the side for a very long time. So if you're looking forward to a Dunder Mifflin project, it's on the way here on my YouTube channel, hopefully here soon. That is a hydro dip cup as well, so it's a little bit different than what I usually do, but I look forward to doing more hydro dips in the future. This was a really fun project, you guys. If you want an ocean reef tumbler, obviously it's in my own artistic style and funness, just let me know and we'll make that happen. If it's hand painted like this, obviously it's going to be more pricey. You're looking at probably about a $90 to $100 price range. But if you just want just a fun swirl cup, and then I can just like create a bunch of SVGs and things to put on it, then it runs about 70 to 80, so it just lowers the price point quite a bit. But it was just such a blast. Here's just me showcasing that Lady Demetrius goth tumbler again, and this is just extreme time lapse of that process and just the final effect. And again, it had a really bad audio that came with it of her singing, it was just really cool. Here's me hand detailing those stainless sterling silver embellishments, and me applying those. How badass is that, you guys? How bad and then this hand painting that rose as we saw earlier. Very long form content there, especially for like a portrait mode version of it instead of a landscape version that you would expect to see long form in. And then there's that blood effect. Look how great the blood effect looks, you guys. Holy cow, this thing turned out absolutely spectacular. Look at it with the epoxy on it. I'm telling you guys, that is incredible. And this is another cup that I made for a business. His wife ordered it, and it was just kind of like a cascading like back and forth type of thing in the process. If you like this type of video, make sure you subscribe, guys. I have a few more of these coming out, at least probably 10 to 15 more, hopefully. And if you want to see the rest of those commentary, fun, laid-back videos like this one here, make sure you check out the playlist above here. That's been linked throughout the video here. If you want to check out some of my paintings, sculptures, or anything like that, or if you want to order something, make sure you check out my Etsy or my website. I'm always available for new custom commissions, and of course a lot of those commissions do end up here on my YouTube channel. How awesome is that, you guys? Freaking awesome. Look at the swirls on that red and silver and black base. I call that one Fire Earth. Fire Embers. Absolutely incredible, you guys. Alright guys, catch you on the next one.